Okay, we're back and we have all the signature pages sewn in, as you can see. I just put a little binding hinge here, and I just use some craft paper, burnish that in really good. I'm going to show you what I did there. First, I'm going to burnish that. Okay, so this little hinge is to cover up these little, where we scored it. Okay, it's a 1-inch hinge by 6 on this particular album, and I scored it straight down the middle at 1/2 inch, and then I put some score tape on each side right flush on the edge. So it's a 1-inch by 6, score down at 1/2 inch, score tape on each edge, and you're going to fold it just like that and burnish it really good. Okay. Grab your scissors, because this is going to be your little guideline as to where you're going to place your little hinge. Grab your scissors, that corner tip, you're going to angle it and cut like a little triangle tip and snip. Turn it the other way again, corner tip and snip. And you get a little double arrow just like that. Okay. Now you're going to grab your album and you're going to use those little corner tips as a guideline, and it's going to be great. See where that score line is? Your corner tip's going to go right aligned to it. See that? Just like that. Okay. Tip to score line, tip to score line on each line. So you're going to remove the backing on one side of your score tape, just one side. Grab it and align the tip to the score line, tip to the score line, and release. Burnish it if you have to. Flip it back and peel your tape. Zoom in. Didn't realize I wasn't zoomed in. Okay. So once you flip it back, push down and burnish. Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and kind of clamp these in just to help me here. Okay, and kind of bend it. Remember, we have this little hinge here and this hinge here that protects your album. I'm sorry from lifting up. I apologize for that loud bang. Okay. All right. Bend it a little. Get a nice crisp fold there. Get it to work the way you want it. Switch it in. If you need to glue that down or burnish it down, whatever, go ahead and this is the time to do that. That's where that, I understand, is that textured paper would be good, because it's almost like leather. I haven't tried it yet. I will in my next journal. Okay, so it looks like that, right? Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to figure out if you're going to use paper. What I suggest, since this is the book itself is 12 by 6, if you open it up wide like this, you're going to need about a 1/2 inch on each side, top to bottom. So it'd be 12, 13 inches by 7 inches if you're going to use paper, or if you're going to use fabric. Now, I have this here from Prima and I wanted to use it. It is 12 by 12. Obviously, I'm going to be short on the sides. That is okay because it's going to be covered up with a lace or something anyway. So I'm not too concerned about that. And what I mean is this. So if I was to lay this down just like that, see that? It's flushed side to side. Now, if I was going to use paper, I would probably cut out another sheet of paper and attach it so that I have it at 13, or fabric 13 by 7, because you want at least a 1/2 inch top, bottom, and sides. And this is what I'm figuring. So I'm going to cut it. Actually, I'm not even going to use my scissors. This is right here. I'm going to use that. I'm just going to use my scissors because my cutter doesn't seem to like this fabric. It's a canvas, very, very thick and almost like it was starched. Okay, use this for something else. Now, it'll look like this. I have 1/2 inch top, bottom, but I do not have it on the side, and that's perfectly okay. Nothing wrong with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my journal around, and we can probably pinch. Well, flip it like that. And you want to make sure you put plenty of this right smack on that edge. You want to make sure and you burnish that. You have the 1/2 inch. Use your 1/2 inch score tape. If you have the wider score tape, use that one. I just have the score tape here, so I'm going to use this one because that's what I have at my hands. And I'll grab another one once I'm done with this row, which is almost. You want to make sure you put plenty. Keep in mind that we don't want this to fall apart, right? So notice I'm putting a lot. I'm coming to the end. Yep, there we go. So I have the 1/2 inch here, so I'm going to go ahead and use some of this 1/2 inch. I'm going to have to probably grab another 1/4 inch. It's a little thicker. And you're going to go right over, make sure you don't get on that score, but you want to go right over your thread, that's for sure. And if you want, once you pull the tape, you can use some extra glue, liquid glue, just to get a better, get it to adhere better to the fabric, because that canvas is very, very thick. So you want to make sure you get really good coverage. Okay. And this is a new roll, so my hand has a hard time gripping it. You can see. All right. I get so self-conscious because you hear people complaining about the banging and the scissors and things like that, and it's so hard to avoid unless we have like a padded desk. Can't please everyone, but it's so hard. It's so hard not to bang those scissors and whatever falls on your desk. Alright. Now this is my design and we have copyrighted it, so we have it in the 1 signature, 2 signature, 3 signature, and the 5 signature. I'm going to go get, I'm going to 1/4 inch, which I'm going to reorder. I didn't realize I have to reorder. I always try to stock the score tape because I like it so much. So disregard the crinkling. All right. So yeah, we have it in the 1 signature, 2 signature, 3 signature, and we can make it just about any size that you want. And burnish that really in because, like I said, this little Prima canvas is very thick. Okay. All right. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your 1/4 inch score tape and you're going to go top and bottom. Straight flush to the edge. Okay. Finish it really good. So you can see I missed a little corner there. I'm just going to double it up. Here, because I don't want to screw that up. Okay. Go ahead and do it on this one as well. Okay. Burnish it. And this is when you want to grab your liquid glue and you want to make sure that on these little corners, not on the in-betweenies, you get your glue. See where you may have missed. Get some of this liquid glue in there in the in-betweenies. In-betweenies. All right, and get good amount in there. You know, I realize, ladies, I am such a messy crafter. As much as I do not like messes, I always seem to make a mess. I think that happens because Mother Nature knows I don't like messes by nature. So I make messes. All right. I'm going to try to get the in-betweenies of where I could have like a little air pocket or something. I don't want air pockets. My arthritis is kicking in, so I'm like, I'm going to squeeze this bottle. It hurts my hands. That's how bad it's gotten. Okay. All right. Let's remove the backing, and you can, remove your backing with your X-Acto knife or whatever you have. I don't use fancy tools to do this stuff. Probably should, but you know what? I ain't gonna. I'm gonna go back in with more glue. So I covered the in-betweenies, and I just want to make sure those are not missed by any chance. Which I could be faster to remove this tape. And we're getting there. Maybe I'll be back. Let me remove this a bunch. Okay, we're back. And I removed all that tape. And I'm sure you guys didn't want to see me doing that. All right, so I'm going to make sure we got this in the right facing direction. My reindeers are facing up. I'm going to go in about a 1/2 inch top and bottom, corner to corner, edge to edge. And when you think you have it on one side, at least release it and go. Then flip it. And you're going to burnish that in really good. Especially that spine area. And, you know, typically you're going to have lace and things like that you're going to use. Get those edges really good, guys. Really, really good. Alright, flip it. Trying to get it to go where it needs to go. Bend it. Alright. See, it makes a lot more sense when I'm actually thinking and not getting distracted by conversation from the group class, which it's not very hard for me to do, to get distracted. Okay, so bend it, just get it really nice and you know, do what you need to do to get it where you want it. And burnish where you need to burnish. That's important. Okay. All right, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove, before we remove that, you know where these score lines here, the folding is right here? We're going to fold it just like that. We're going to snip it right there and right there. See that? Do the same thing on the opposite side. So you have that. Okay? All right. Then you're going to peel. You know what I didn't do? I didn't remove this here. It's kind of funny that I did that. Okay. Remove your backing here. And I did not add that wrong. Where is it? Have a problem and you might want to use your hot glue, or I know Karen's probably listening. She's probably saying use the liquid glue, me. All right, remove this here. Push your pages to the other side. Fold it. And you want to pull and tuck up, stretch it out, so you can get it nice and flush against that edge, okay? Grab your bone folder and burnish that. Do the same thing on the other side. Pull it tight, stretch it up. Okay. And then You see this little here? We're going to cut it right flush on that edge. And I do apologize. My hands are kind of grody. Let's see. And I need a better pair of scissors. I don't know where my little ones went. Right flush against the edge of the album. Just like so. Flip it this way. Pull that tab back and do the same thing. And look, I forgot to pull the double-sided on some pages. Telling you, I'm not perfect. Okay. And then we're going to do this side. And see, it makes a lot of sense then to try to align your signatures to the spine and then try to poke those holes in. It was, to me, that's crazy. So I thought, you know what, if we have some holes already there, it's perfect for your journals and you don't have to worry about where you're putting that. Right, so burnish, sorry for the sound. Burnish and burnish. Now, you do have extra, I know I do. Let's see if it'll work. It might not. Nope. Well, kind of. It's a little short, but what you can do is grab some of your scraps that you might have. Let's see what scraps I want to use. And you can cover your spine that way. And I'm going to use this one because that matches it nicely. Again, this is from Authentiques collection. And we're going to measure that before we cut. And we're going to go right, this is where our fold is, our crease. We're going to go right, maybe, we're going to do 5 inches by 6, or 5 inches by 5 3/4 maybe. That way it'll go right flush to the edge by 5 and, what did I say? 5 3/4, 5 inches by 5 3/4. We're going to cut 2 pieces. This paper cutter is pretty heavy, so oh, I didn't cut that paper wrong. I don't like this paper cutter because it's so, I thought it was going to be like a really long big one and it wasn't. Anyway, let's cut that. So we needed 5 by 5 3/4. We need 2 pieces. Wait, 5 3/4. And then by 5, 2 pieces. Okay, move that to the side. Put all my scraps over on that table. And then we're back here, and this should fit, hopefully, right in here. just like that. And I get to see still some of the canvas, which is what I wanted. All right, so let's go ahead and distress that. And this is a good time if you wanted to sew this down. Now, I like to sew. I just, for the purpose of this video, I did not sew any of these, just because I wanted just to give you guys an idea of how to assemble these journals that I've designed. And there is a kit. There's 2 kits left. Well, it's kind of like D-Stash, not really a kit, but it has the journals in it, and I have not released them out but to 3 people, and I'm the 4th person to use this one. So okay, so I am going to go ahead and use let's go, you know what, yeah, let's use this one. I just have a hard time squeezing. No, too much squeezing I can't handle. My hands can't handle it. So if it seeps out, I'm just going to take my baby wipe. All right. And right about so. And again, I'm going to be using a trim to cover that edge, so it's no biggie. Really isn't. I know I'm always really finicky about stuff, but I will be using a trim. And the same thing over here. So then once this is done, the other thing you can do is you can put an eyelet in, and you can get an eyelet put in. That way you have a closing mechanism. Let's see what way have these going. Yep, right direction. Okay. Yeah, I know, it seeped out a lot there. Okay. All right. So there is this part of the album, and like I said, you want to kind of move it around, just shift it carefully, being very careful. Shift it around to get that nice journal feel to it and the right place where it needs to be. Burnish where you need to burnish, and there it is. Okay, nice. Everything's going in the right direction. So I can come back in here now and I can start putting my laces, my tabs, my pockets, all the neat things that, you know, I have all these little scraps that we cut out. And I can come in here and use it for this here, and it fits perfect right in there. And I can start decorating some of these pages with some of this beautiful stuff that we had left over from when we cut out the journal. You know, just go in there and decorate it and use some coordinating stuff, because that's also important. Like maybe I would go in here and put some polka dots. If I had the bigger polka dots. Let's see what I do. Talking to myself now, ladies. Oh, Santa's right there. We can definitely maybe sneak Santa right in there. Let's do that. Let's put Santa right in there. And I can use my Xyron for that. And again, you can run this through your sewing machine and run some stitches through it. Let's see, what else do we want to put in here? We have this one. We can put that there. Oops, put too much in there. Right there. I can trim this one just a tad bit. So let me run. Let's see, I had this one for there, that one for there, and what else do we have? We have over here. Let's do polka dots. I'm just going to trim it. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to run it through the Xyron. I do like my Xyron because it makes it easier. And I'm just going to put that little boo-boo in the bottom because I'll just put a little pocket right there. Alright, next one. One down. And 20 million more to go, right? Well, I don't want that down there. There we go. And then we have the little flap here. And what I could have done is I could have, and I'm probably going to, let me see if I can lift this up. Let's get some magnet in there. I need little magnets that are really strong and powerful. I'm going to put one in there. Go ahead and get some glue because now I've lifted it up and my adhesive is not going to be so as forgiving. what? I put that in the wrong place. Put them butt up to each other. And let's see where it goes. Pretty much about there. It's supposed to work. For some reason, this magnet is not as strong as they claim, so we're going to try these little ones that I just got those in, and I'm not happy with the quality of them. Okay, so I have measured these up and I put the magnet on there. I ended up having to use a stronger magnetic disc. The ones that I bought were not good. I got those from eBay and they were horrible. So I recommend that you use Basic Gray's magnetic disc, and they're the small magnets and they work perfect for what we need it for. So getting back to this one, I have run this through the Xyron, burnish it and peel. And that's going to go right in here. I can get it. I have about an 1/8 of an inch. If I can get it straight. So I have to run that through again. There we go. Ah. I have to see myself running that through the Xyron again, but we'll see. We'll see how that holds up. Okay, so it has a magnetic strip in there, and it snaps, and there's that. And then on this one, what I ended up doing is I had this one. It's one of the pieces that came in this collection. I'm just gonna align it. It's 3 7/8. And I thought, well, you know what? It doesn't have to be covered completely. And then this here is, no, this one is 2 7/8, I think. And I forgot to put the magnet, but I needed to put the magnet, May. I keep forgetting about the magnet. All right, so here's my magnet, my plus and my minus. I'm just going to remove the backing. have to keep reminding myself about the magnets. Can't do that yet. That's right about there. Oh, it's strong. Strong little booger. So it's about there, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. And I used a hot glue. So then on this one, I am going to carefully see if I can lift this up. And I should be able to. And it should snap right in there. Lift it up. And again, I'm going to have to use the hot glue because I lifted up my adhesive. Okay. A little bit of boo-boo there, but we'll cover it up here in a bit. We'll probably put, let's see. Let's add this here. We'll add this as a little corner pocket thingy there. And a boo-boo. Cover it up. Something like that, and then see, no one's gonna know I had a boo-boo there, right? So then that'll snap just like that, and I have this other back piece here. I'll go right along here. And this is just giving you a basic idea of how to cut. I mean, I'm not going to do this whole, obviously I'm not going to do that. I keep saying to myself I'm not, but I think I cut this one too wide. There we go. I think I have to cut this down more. And I do. So let's cut that down. I have to run it through the Xeron. So let's measure that again. I must have mismeasured it. Okay. So 3 3/8, and I cut it 3 7/8, but 3 3/8. Although yours will be different than mine. I'm leaving about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to probably have to rerun this through the Xeron. 3 and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's see what we have as far as adhesive. Oh yeah, that'll work. Again, yours is going to be completely different than mine because your measurements and everything, and you probably do different pockets and different closures and different everything. I just kind of used this one. And of course, I should have, I'm going to use score tape because I don't I don't want to run it through the Xyron for just that little tiny piece. It makes no sense. Okay. I could probably let's see. Do I want that there? No, I'm going to put a lace. We'll put a piece of lace there. But anyway, you get the idea behind it. And then what I suggest if you're going to do an eyelet is pick out your eyelet and then snap it in place, and we'll do that. And that'll be the end. The end, ladies. I can find my eyelets. So I went ahead and added a large grommet to the edge, and I measured it at the center point, which is 3 inches, and I made a little point, and then I went in and attached my grommet. Now I have a piece of seam binding, and it's a yard folded in half. I'm going to pull it through. And just kind of rub it in. Put this color temporary. I'm going to look for my red seam binding. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is going to be our closure. And you can use other types of closures. This is probably about one of the easiest that you can possibly do, other than you have to use your Crop-A-Dile to put your eyelet or your grommet in. Okay, pull it through, and like I said, this piece here is probably going to be temporary. I just wanted to show you the tying mechanism, and it'll go just like that. And there's that, and then you can make your little cute shabby chic bow. And there's that, and you can add another eyelet here and have a little dangle. But that is basically the entire 3 signature chipboard album that I have designed. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Until next time, bye bye, ladies.